Today we're going to be talking about the weather in Switzerland because it's absolutely scorcho outside.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Really hot, and also really hot inside, we should say.
Yeah, it's like a bit more than 30 degrees outside, and we try everything to keep the heat out. So.
Yeah, we certainly do.
Before we dive right in, maybe we want to give a quick overview what we're going to talk today.
Sure.
What the topics. So, like you said, we want to talk about when is the best time to come and visit, and if you just, come for a short trip to Switzerland. What else are we going to talk about? The general things in Switzerland about the weather forecasts, the different parts in Switzerland where the weather is how, and so on, and some apps that you might want to download, or which our recommendation would be for a weather app for Switzerland, I think. That's the rough outline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I often found that when people were coming to visit me here in Switzerland, the question was always, what's the weather going to be like and what should I bring?
Yeah, that's very difficult, isn't it?
And it's always been a difficult question to answer.
And also they always ask when is the best time to visit, isn't it? That's
exactly.
Why we also asked in our Facebook group and on Twitter, we asked, what do our listeners think when the best time is to visit?
Yep, exactly. And if you want to join our Facebook group, check it out. It's called Switzerland for English Speakers, and we'd love to see you in there. And how people answered the question on Twitter, they said that their favourite time to visit Switzerland was in winter. However, somewhat surprisingly to some of us in this room, their favourite answer on Facebook was spring, which I personally voted for.
Yeah, and spring was also the worst. I mean, they had the least votes on Twitter. Has to be said, it's not like thousands of votes. It's just like...
yeah, we just sort of tested the water there.
Yeah. And there are quite a few comments and quite a discussion on Facebook. What did they say?
A few people said that winter is really the best time to come because of sort of cosy walks with amazing mountain scenes, Steph wrote. Also, the best hot chocolate in the world. Couldn't agree more.
In winter, yeah.
Nigel said that the mountains with snow scenes and Christmas markets are some of his favourite things, hence he voted for winter. That's my dad, by the way, we should say. You could see that in the Facebook group. But Richard wrote and said that he voted for summer, as that's his most recent experience. But he's also visited in winter a few times in his childhood and would really like to come again. However, and I think this is a common problem with people from England, it's really, really cold here, and lots of people don't want to come to Switzerland when it's so cold unless they're coming for skiing.
Yeah.
And also, obviously then you want it to be quite
also
cold.
Maybe depends where you come from, you don't have all the proper clothes and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Richard has a really, really nice comment here, and he's a big fan, so...
Hello, Richard!
Hi, Richard! And what else do we have?
Oh, and one person, Will, wrote, that's a trick question, which I think is a really good answer because obviously all seasons in Switzerland are really nice. So it's quite hard to choose between. And finally, Eric also wrote, he's only been here in spring and mostly summer. So I guess that's why he answered either spring or summer. And he did also say, apart from a horrible heat wave during the summer, he absolutely loved both seasons.
Mm-hmm. All four, has to be said. I think that's the nice thing in Switzerland, that we really have usually 4 seasons. So it's quite different each season, and I think it's really very much depending what you want from Switzerland, what your expectations are. So if you want to come for skiing or want to see a winter,
sort of winter wonderland vibe, like Narnia,
then obviously you come in winter. And if you want to maybe go hiking, for example, then you might come in. The best time to come is in autumn, I think.
Yeah. And this is why I voted for spring. And I often tell people to come and visit in spring because it's generally, compared to England, in my opinion, quite sort of sunny and nice and warm, but it's not too hot.
Yeah, what do you consider as spring? Because I think like April and beginning of May, it can be. You must be a bit lucky that it's not raining too much.
Yeah, I guess April there's danger of rain, of course, but May is quite a nice time to come. Early summer, let's call it then.
Yeah, early summer I think is a really good time to come. But it really depends what you want, and you can visit throughout the year. That's definitely true. But also, for example, if you want to come for winter season, I wouldn't come maybe on Christmas, because nowadays we get snow later and later. And I would preferably come maybe on February, for example, to be sure to really have enough snow for cover the winter wonderland.
Yeah, exactly.
Chances are bigger. But obviously you need a bit of luck in Switzerland. It can be rainy
Yeah, rain can always happen.
Rain can always happen. Snow is never really 100,000% sure. And yeah.
So this question of, trying to predict the weather and how predictable it is something that one of our listeners, David, hello David, left us a voice message about, actually.